Hey everybody, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the March edition of Tea With Me. I'm going to start with a couple apologies. First, I apologize for missing a February edition of Tea With Me. It's not like I'm thinking any of you out there were like, oh my gosh, where's this episode? I enjoy putting them out there for you, but I'm not so sure that it's anything that anybody anticipates. So it's not like I'm thinking that anybody really missed it. But I do really try every month to have some kind of content that I can share with you, with recommendations and things that I hope will inspire you. And I just apologize that in February I could not do that. I was just really super busy with taking some classes and some other things that were going on, and it just didn't happen. I also want to apologize because tea with me today is actually coffee with me. I'm dragging, man. It is 2 in the afternoon and I'm just sort of like crashing, and I thought, you know what, I'm going for the caffeine. So today's tea with me, if you're new to my channel, will be a little bit different than the normal one. So if you haven't tuned into Tea With Me before, I try to have a little bit of a format where it's a little bit chat, it's a little bit book recommendations, and this could be for inspiration, knowledge, or as craft materials. And I try to either do a little craft or show something, share something with you, either some vintage items or a product or something along that lines that maybe you haven't seen before, or maybe I'm really excited about learning about it and I want to show it with you. Today, it's not going to be like that. I have a few things I just really want to chat with you guys about, kind of personal things, personal to this YouTube channel and to where I'm going with my art and craft. And I will be doing a few book shares, and I do want to show you a few little additions to my work studio that I'm kind of excited about. But it's really going to be more of a true sit down, chat, and have coffee with me kind of a video. So if that's not your kind of thing, then you can certainly hopefully find something else on my channel that's for you. But if you're up for a chat, this would be a great one to put on while you're crafting, or if you want to have a morning cup of coffee or tea and just want to have a little friend chit chat for a little while. So I'm actually going to move a couple of things, and because it is going to be so chatty, I don't want you just to stare at this boring layout. I'm going to flip through a book that I will actually be recommending later on in the video, but while I'm chatting, it will give you a really good view of what's inside this book. So let me set that up here, and then I will sit down with my coffee and we'll have a chat. Okay, friends, I'm back. I'm going to take a little sip of coffee. And as I'm chit-chatting with you, I'm going to flip through this book, like I said, just so that what you're seeing is not so boring. I was going to do the review after this, but I think I'll just do the little preface so you know what book this is as I'm moving forward. This would be my first book recommendation. And this book I would recommend for several reasons. It would be a beautiful book if you just love flowers and wildflowers and want that reference material. It would also be a really wonderful book for an inexpensive home decor project. There's absolutely stunning pictures in this book, and the paper is creamy and off-white and thick and perfect for framing. So if you have, a little workspace or an apartment and you want to make like maybe a wall of framed framed artwork, a book like this is beautiful because you can get a big bang for your buck. This book was, to look it up, you need to look up this name here, Mary Vaux Walcott. She is the one that's at the top of the book, and then the other name is H.W. Rickett. She is basically the painter of all these photographs. There are some additional paintings by Dorothy, Falcon, Platt, and I'm sure they're credited in the back, but the majority is done by this artist, Mary Walcott, and then the descriptions of the plants are done by H.W. Rickett. This is done by Crown Publishers, published this in 1953, I think, and it's a very big volume. Let's see how many pages are in it. Oh gosh. I don't even know how many pages are on it. I'll have to look that up after, but when you see how many pictures are in here, it is chock full. I mean, there is more artwork in this page, in this book, than you can even like imagine for the price that you're going to pay for it. So there's 400 flowers. So we know that there are 400 paintings in here. And I looked, most of the books that I always recommend on my channel, I find are affordable. And when I say affordable, what does that mean? That essentially means if I was willing to go in a craft store and buy a pack of scrapbook paper or art paper, what would I pay for that? And I would expect a book I recommend to be the same price, if not less than that. So in other words, you're using something that already exists in the world, that you're not using more paper, putting any more stress on the environment, and you're using something that's vintage for the same price or lower. This book I found, I usually go to several sources when I look for the price of a book because I don't want anybody to be surprised. And of course, I'm doing recommendations from the United States and from shipping within the United States and from United States companies. So around the world, the prices could be a little bit different, or shipping to you might be different. So I do want to make sure I say that. My two sources of books that I generally go to, well, three sources, are eBay. I go to eBay for a price check. I go for thriftbooks.com, which is very affordable. And I go to Amazon, but I look under their used books. And usually in those three, I can give you a ballpark of what it's going to cost. When I looked at Amazon and thriftbooks.com, this same book was under $8. On one company, it was $7.69, and another company was $7.09. Now, both would include some shipping there, so I round up to about $10 would be my guess. Now, I found a different resource today, which I will put in the box below. I want to read it because I had never seen it before, and it's called Better World Books. I have never purchased anything from them before. I'm not an affiliate with them. I can't recommend their service because I've never used them. But they had a pretty interesting offer where when you go on Better World Books, they have a used book bin, and their bargain bin has free shipping and 20% off 4 books. So this book, not with the 20%, was $6.31 with free shipping. That is unbelievable for 400 beautiful pieces of paper with botanicals on them. I mean, we're talking pennies a page. So I would definitely look into them as well. Again, I can't tell you what kind of company they are. I've never used them, but this book consistently looks like it's a good buy. So I would definitely recommend this. And as I flip through, you're going to see this creamy matte paper with these beautiful images that, let me see if I can grab a ruler. Because I'm talking about framing, we're talking about 11 inches, 11 and a half inches, 8.5 by 11. This is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is a standard size paper in the United States, for not only for paper crafting, but also for framing. So again, really great recommendation on this book. Okay, so before I chat with you, it appears in this book that all the writing has been put in the front of the book. So in other words, all of the information on the 400 plants in this book are in the front. And then this entire thing is 400 plates of artwork. So I'm just going to be flipping through these as we talk. Also, just so you know, I got this at an estate sale, and it was an artist who was using them as reference material. So as I flip, we may see some tracing paper and things that she used when she was trying to do some transfers onto her canvas. So if you see that as I'm talking, you'll know what that is. So we'll start with plate number 1 as I start talking. So folks, today is March 12th, 2021, and tomorrow will probably be the day that this video gets put out there. I'm recording it on the 12th. And that is, tomorrow will be exactly a year of COVID. And I'm not here to be all like, let's talk about COVID. I think we do these videos to actually escape our real reality and to inspire us. I just wanted to acknowledge it because I wanted to say that when I'm looking back on the last year, which has been very, very difficult for my family for many reasons, I also know it was hard on everyone. Everybody has had to give up things, sacrifice things. Everybody has a story that'll break your heart. And my family is no exception. But my family is still here. We're all healthy. My boys are healthy, and my mother is healthy. My in-laws are healthy, and people are starting to get vaccines. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And I also am really grateful for you guys. I'm really grateful in the last year of having a community that really was creative and inspirational and worked through the year with beautiful pieces of art. And the YouTube channel, the things I've shared on there, the tutorials, things I've tried to do, partly was because I wanted to give people some projects to do when they were at home. And I hope that they were good for you or distractions for you. But there were so many that I took advantage of from other people. And I really, really want to thank you for that. It's really meant a lot to me, and I really cherish this community and everybody who tunes in to the channel. And I want to acknowledge the anniversary by giving my condolences to anybody out there who has suffered, who is still suffering with sickness, who has lost somebody near and dear to them, and let you know that, you know, I know when we're talking about these things on our channels, there are more important things in life. And while we stay away from those subjects because we want to lose ourselves in our happy place, I do want to acknowledge what I know a lot of people have dealt with and tell you all I'm thinking of you. I also want to give you guys a big shout out and thank you because over this past week, I was notified by YouTube that I now have enough hours and enough followers that the channel is now going to be monetized. Now, being monetized is a very kind of controversial, I don't want to say controversial, but it's a decision that every YouTube person has to make at some point. Once you get a certain amount of viewers and a certain amount of followers, they're going to start throwing ads on your channel anyway. You don't have that choice. And yes, it is possible that as a YouTube creator, there may be some monetary value to monetizing your channel. But I can tell you that it's not much. I think people that have 250,000 subscribers, they're probably making a little bit of money a month and not even like a huge amount, like maybe like $50 to $100 a month. I'm at 1,500. I'm not anywhere near there, nor am I looking at this as, you know, I really want this to be a good viewer experience for you. So having said that, I have gone through and tried to shut off most of the types of ads that can be showed shown during my my videos, because I want your user experience to be good, and I don't want you to be distracted from the content because you have things rolling below or whatever. And I'm not criticizing anybody who does that, because if they have the amount of users, you know, maybe it is worth it for them to have those ads, because they are getting a little bit of money from that. And I can tell you, anybody who puts out content on YouTube works a lot for a very little. It takes a lot of work to put together videos, to get together materials, to tape, to edit, to put out there. And many of us are doing it because we love the community and we love what we do. But if it ever gets to the point where there's an opportunity to get a little bit of financial reward from that, so that you can put more money into your hobby, into your craft, into your art, bring maybe better things to people, I don't begrudge anybody. And, you know, it's possible that there may be some affiliate links in the future, but right now I'm not doing that. And right now I'm really still very tiny. But every single one of the, I think it's like 1,400 viewers I have right now, I appreciate every single one of you. It is incredible to me that anybody wants to tune in or hear what I have to say. And I really am very thoughtful in the fact that when I bring you things, I do want them to be things that are of value to you, that maybe aren't what you're seeing on every other channel, because honestly, there are people that are way better than me, that know way more than me, and who am I to offer the same content to you? So I try to stick with the things I know, the things I'm confident in, the things that I'm passionate about, and hopefully that resonates with you and, you know, brings some value to your life. So I just wanted to acknowledge the changes that may start happening on my videos, the fact that there may be more ads than there were before, and just to let you know what was happening, and also ask you how you feel about it. Does it bother you when that happens on people's channels? Does it affect your user experience? How do you guys feel about it? I'm gonna take a sip. Oh, I love Pussy Willows. I love that these are, I think, called like catkins. Just very sweet. Aren't these just beautiful? Oh, these are catkins too, I think. So moving on, because I'm at the point where I haven't really been following my numbers on YouTube, and because I was notified of monetization, I thought it would be a great opportunity to celebrate. So I really, really want you guys to, in the comments below, weigh in on this next piece. I would like to do a video very soon as a thank you to you guys. And I'd like the subject to be chosen by you. I'll give you some options. And then whatever I make, I will give away as a giveaway. So here are a few options. The first thing I thought of was, I've gotten a lot of feedback over the last year, because one of the things that I do the most and make the most is Happy Mail. I love my pen pals. I love sending packets out to people, even though I'm slow as molasses. And my favorite thing is to use book jackets, old book jackets, and big old envelopes, junk mail envelopes. And I create portfolios or folios out of them that I stuff Chuck full of Happy Mail. That would be the first option. Should we make a Happy Mail packet? The second one we could do is some kind of short, fun paper craft that is either decor for your wall or your work studio, or something completely different that maybe you've never seen before. I have a few of these projects in my idea pad, and I've been wanting to try them. They will happen at some point, but if that's something that you guys sounds interesting to you, I will put that as a priority. The third thing we could do would be clay. As you know, this channel is basically two things. It's paper and it's clay. And I have been a clay teacher for going on 5 or 6 years now, and I have sold my items. I've been a sculptor, and I have a lot of little classes in up my sleeve that I could pull out if you guys are really interested in polymer clay. It could be related to paper, as in like faces for the front of a journal or embellishments, or it could be something like completely different, like little trinket bowls or bowls that you could keep on your desk and put stamps in and put little things in. I love taking my scrap clay and making pens. They are so comfortable to write in, and I love just making like really fun swirls. Or I have a gnome one that's one of my favorites. I don't know if you can see him. Let's see. So if that's interesting, we could do a clay project. So the 3 options would be a Happy Mail packet or portfolio, a short and fast decorative paper project, or a clay project. And whatever's chosen, I'll let you guys, message me on Instagram or comment below. I will do something really soon, and whatever is made will be a giveaway. I also want to ask, as we move forward with the channel, what do you guys like? What do you guys want? I know what my strengths are. I know clay is a big part of it. I know I really love vintage, and I love bringing vintage to you. Do you like the vintage content? Do you like the history behind some of the vintage items I show, estate sale hauls and things like that? Would you like to see behind the scenes at an estate sale? Because if you would, I definitely can give you more of that kind of thing. You let me know what you think, what kinds of things you'd like to see in the future. I'm very, very, like I said, I'd rather put out less content, but content that I feel comfortable about and that you guys want, than just pushing out weekly videos just so that I can do projects. Now, that certainly is not to say that people who are doing that, I'm throwing any shade their way, because honestly, it's the opposite. I can't believe how much content some people are able to do, and beautiful, amazing things. But I know myself, and I am not just one style. I am very much into vintage. I am very much into books. I'm very much into clay. I'm very eclectic. So what I'm going to put out there is not going to always be the same thing, because that's just not who I am. So I definitely would like to hear from you guys and know what it is that you guys would like. And the last thing I wanted to cover on my little chat, because at this point I'm just droning on, is mixed media. I love mixed media. Mixed media is something that I am still developing comfort level with. It's something that I'm slowly getting out of my head about, and I've been taking some classes this winter, and I'd like to probably start doing a lot more of that, exploring a lot more of that as well. I am certainly no expert. In fact, I'm taking classes because I'm no expert. But is mixed media something you guys want to explore? Would you like to explore that with me? Certainly if you explored it with me, it would be from a newbie point of view, because I am a newbie. But I would love to share with you things that I learn, as long as I'm not, like obviously I'm paying for content from artists. I'm not going to share their secrets, but I would love to share projects and do mixed media with you guys if you're interested in that. So let me know what you think about that too. So as I finish up this book, let's take a look at quickly about some of the other pages. I think you've been able to see they're just these gorgeous plates. Some take up the whole page, some are a couple to a page. They're detailed and soft and beautiful, and you could, oh, I love this one. You could even change them out for the season. I have never seen a book that is simply plate after plate after plate. Now, there is a plate on each side, so you certainly would have to choose which one you liked better, but just think of the seasons and the artwork that can come. Oh, I love this green and yellow. So there we go. Just really gorgeous. So the information on this book will be in the box below. And I'm going to go to my next book and do that recommendation. Before I take this book off, though, let me say there is a book jacket goes with this that has red flowers on it. It's a white dust jacket with bright red flowers. Mine did not come with the dust jacket, but don't get... if you see that one online, that is the correct one. This one is 1953. If there's a version after 1953, I cannot tell you whether the pages will be glossy and whether there'll be this creamy material. I can only talk to the 1953 one, but this is what it looks like, and it does have a dust jacket. Okay, I am back, and I am doing something I usually don't do, which is hand hold my camera, but this book is so ginormous I have to. This is Albertus Seba's Cabinet of Natural Curiosities, which I think a lot of us are familiar with his images from calendars and greeting cards and postcards and giftware and things like that. This particular book is published by Taschen, and it was published in 2015. It is not the most recent edition, which makes it affordable. The most recent edition is very expensive, but this edition, although it originally was listed for $125, I got it at an estate sale, and you can get it on the thrift sites for about $20 to $25, which sounds expensive from the standpoint of one of my books that I usually recommend, but this thing weighs like 10 pounds. There's 542 pages, and the size of the page is 17.5 by 11. I mean, that's a huge size. So we're talking about big enough pages for framing, big enough pages for full, huge folios, and making big envelopes and pockets, which sometimes we can't get on our smaller papers. 12 by 12 is the biggest paper we can usually get. Here we're talking about 17 by 11. That's really big. So just in case you're not familiar with this particular Cabinet of Curiosities, Albert Seba was a pharmacist in Amsterdam, and he spent well over a decade pretty much collecting specimens of plants, animals, insects from around the world. And once he had this massive array of curious, and they're really curious ones, he had illustrators, painters, artists come, and he commissioned them to do pictures, and he made folios from 1734 to 1765. And Taschen is the publisher of this. This is his complete folios. Now we're talking about the 1700s, so it's a very distinct style, and I'm going to quickly flip through, because if you're going to pay $25 for a book, you should know what's inside. So first of all, the paper is really lovely. It is this thick, creamy paper. I don't know if I'd consider it a cardstock. It's definitely a paper, and it's not as stiff as a cardstock, but it is hefty. You could make something out of this and not have to back it with anything. So very good quality paper, very good size, and you're getting a lot of material for your money. And this book is not rare. This is the 2015 edition, which you can get for $20 to $25. There's a 2020 edition, which is like $50 to $100. And, you know, they sell a lot of these. So please don't feel like you cannot use this. This particular book, I got at an estate sale, and there were already pages missing. So I have no problems using this book. So this book is divided into the 4 sections of folios. And you're going to see, so at the beginning of the folios, start with this page. And this first one is animals. Now, this is the Cabinet of Curiosities, so not everything here is like that really pretty, beautiful botanical we love. The illustrations are amazing, but they have a little edge to them, and you're going to see that. So it might not be for everybody. I happen to think it's super cool, but I'm going to show you. So the first thing is plants and leaves. And at every folio, they have one huge like poster. And again, it's a rat, not really something that you probably are going to want. Especially in the animal flower one, I would have preferred something else, but hey, it's his book. It's his thing of curiosities. He can pick what he wants. So there's some really interesting plants. Is that a poster too? Yes, it is. Let's see what this one is. All right, that's pretty cool. So this is a huge tropical bird one, and very, very much specimens that we like, the specimen labels that we like. I need to fold this properly. So lots of plants. We're going to start going into animals, and you're going to start seeing lots of snakes. He seemed to love snakes. So, and a lot of these animals are unusual animals. Again, this is Curiosities. They're not your pretty bunny rabbits, but they're really cool, and they'd be great for a lot of different types of journals that we do. There's birds in here. Nests, that's a fabulous page. Okay, that not so much for me. Frogs, snakes, lizards, which I like all those things. So I don't mind this. Maybe not for everybody. Now, the second folio is more, oh, look at that. The second folio, let me get to the second one. Lots of snakes. Which you should know, because you know, if you don't like snakes and you bought this book, you might be pretty upset with me. So that's pretty cool, though. Look at the pattern on that. See, I love stuff like that. And I know there's other people out there that do too. So now we're going under the sea. We're going to look at fish and animals that live under the sea. Lots of shells, crabs. I mean, the shell pages are amazing. And again, another poster with lobsters and horseshoe crabs. The shells are, this would be great for a beach house, for journals that have to do with the ocean. Just so much here. There's even plants under the ocean. And then we move into insects. Moths, butterflies. Really amazing. And I think you probably recognize some of these images too, because some of them are on the public domain and used in many very popular digital kits. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? And they even have sections on like minerals and rocks and other natural curiosities. Here's another poster. That's pretty amazing. So, as you can see, this book is ginormous, full of material, weighs a ton, so you would want to buy it from a retailer that included free shipping. Listen to this. I mean, that's a big mamma jamma. So that is my other recommendation for this month. So that's it, guys. That's March. I was going to give you a little tour of some of my additions to my studio, but I feel like I've talked way too much today, and I try to keep my videos to a half an hour, and I don't even know if I'll be fitting it in. Probably not. So I don't want to make it any longer than it needs to be for you guys. But I will be back in April, and I will hopefully be making a video soon based on your comments below. And I just wish you a really happy March. I hope you stay safe. I hope many of you are able to get the vaccination. And I will see you next month.